Thank you for still tuning in with us. In today's Business Talk, we are going to talk about Muslim fashion. The last few decades have seen the rapid growth of Muslim fashion, not only in Indonesia, but also globally. This phenomenon has become one of the important segments of the global fashion market, and based on the report from State of the Global Islamic Economy in 2023, Indonesia has managed to maintain the third position in the modest fashion indicator. Now, according to the latest data released by the State of the Global Islamic Economy Report 2023, Indonesia occupied the top 3 positions in the Global Islamic Economy indicator, up from the previous 4th. The Islamic lifestyle industry is also experiencing significant growth in Indonesia. The report also noted that Indonesia placed 3rd in the modest fashion indicator after Turkey and Malaysia. The booming Muslim fashion industry has emerged as a significant segment of the global fashion market. In 2023, Indonesia proudly showcased 7 Indonesian fashion brands at New York Fashion Week, including the pioneering modest fashion label Kami, established in 2009. To solidify Indonesia's position as a global hub for Muslim fashion, the Trade Ministry has announced plans to officially declare the country as the world's Muslim fashion center by 2024. This ambitious goal is being pursued through strategic partnerships with other ministries and the private sector, and by organizing events like Jakarta Muslim Fashion Week. When we talk about Indonesia's Muslim fashion sector, it is not just about clothing. It's a dynamic marketplace influenced by culture, religion, and modern trends. Today, we'll explore how local designers are making waves, the challenges of balancing tradition with innovation, and how this industry is shaping global fashion. So joining me, Kami founder Istafiana Chandarini. Hi, Mbak Irin, thank you for joining us in Business Talk today.
Hi, Alia.
Yeah.
The pleasure is mine.
Yeah, the pleasure is ours as well to have you. So I'm just reading out the data here. So the State of the Global Islamic Economy Report 2019 to 2020 stated that Muslim fashion consumption in the world has reached $283 billion and continues to increase at the projected average growth rate of 6%. By 2024, the global Muslim fashion consumption is projected to be worth $402 billion. That's big.
Yeah, that's big.
So now let's see Indonesia first. What is the current landscape of Indonesian Muslim fashion industry?
So the current Indonesia fashion landscape is, we have a massive growth for the last decade. The growth is projected at 18% in this year alone. So yeah, the growth is mainly driven by the young generation, the digitally savvy young generation, which create the demand by, utilizing the social e-commerce platform. It drives our online up into 20% penetration in the Indonesia this year, and it's been amazing this last year.
So that's a really great news, and we know that Indonesia itself it's a big market. We don't want to be just a market, right?
Yeah.
We want to also excel in the international stage. But when we see Kami, I remembered I always passed Kami, the one in Kemang area. It was like your first ever store, built in 2009, and in 2013 successfully penetrated the Malaysian market. Could you please tell us more about that? How did you do that, and what were the main challenges to actually penetrate the international market?
The Malaysian market was natural for us because by the time we penetrate Malaysia, it was Indonesian-Malaysian initiative were at the rise. So we've joined a lot of the fashion shows, trade shows, and everything. So it was natural for us. But then maintaining the awareness in Malaysia was a huge challenge. Because, we are very culturally close with Malaysia, but then they also have distinctive taste in terms of fashion, colors, and even how they perceive the modesty in fashion.
Yeah.
So as for today, we closed the brick and mortar in Malaysia, but then we continue to develop our e-commerce and website presence. We keep close contact with the influencers and the community there. So yeah, hopefully Malaysia is our part of our story and our growth.
Yeah, but looking at Indonesia, we are a big country, and I mean the Muslim fashion industry here has been growing a lot, as you mentioned as well. From the size, if you compare to other majority Muslim countries in terms of size and growth, how do you compare Indonesia with other Muslim majority countries?
Currently, Indonesia is at the 5th rank in the world Muslim fashion industry. So, you know, the other 4, I believe they have built a better infrastructure, better tourism, you know, to attract all the people and everything. So I think we have a very huge potential ever since the size of Indonesian Muslim population is unparalleled. It's like huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the biggest in the world. So if speaking about the potential, it is huge, and I am optimist we can reach sooner than we think.
Yeah, okay. So it's still related to penetrating the international market. What strategies do you think can be used for the local designers to suit the global taste, sort of like while maintaining these? We have the authenticity of Indonesian, sort of like, culturally and taste and all that, while having the silhouette of the modest fashion, but now it has shifted into something, I would say it's at another level, right?
Okay, I think it will be different in every country because, you know, as for Malaysia, since we are very close in cultural, it is quite sensitive sometimes to bring up the cultural issue. So our strategy was to look deeper into what we are. Kami is a brand that created by women for women. So usually we develop a theme around the issue.
Right.
Woman and the beauty, woman and the problem, woman and the, you know, all the things about women. So,
Woman in the power.
yeah, woman in the power. And I think the neutral issue can be accepted in wider audience. So that's what we've always do. And then we put just a bit of the nature of Indonesia, something more neutral, neutral issue.
I've realized that the Ministry of Trade has been also doing this movement for the Muslim industry, fashion industry, by having the Jakarta as the Mecca of the Muslim fashion industry, right? We have Paris for the fashion industry, but we want to have the Jakarta Fashion Week, but for modest fashion. So how do you see this movement going on? I mean, we have a lot of local players in terms of modest fashion industry, but what is needed to be done in order to make this a big thing, goal in the future?
So after a few initiatives, I see fashion has a unique approach. I mean, they have already settled the industry for so long in Paris and New York and, you know, everywhere in the world. So I guess we have to follow the steps. We have to follow the steps. I mean, like, you know, developing a trade show is not just, you cannot just invite buyers.
Yeah.
You cannot just, I mean, we have to build it with a grand plan, I guess. So it cannot be done in only 5 years, maybe. It has to be continue. You know, I mean, we are going to change the government soon, so I mean, it's best if we can continue the effort.
Are those one of the things that you also learned from the New York fashion?
Yeah, and the one we also learned during the Malaysia expansion and everything.
All right. Mbak Irin, thank you so much for sharing with us in our business talk,
so much.
and a big success for your Kami and fashion industry of Indonesia, especially the modest fashion.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. And that was our conversation on Muslim fashion for today's Business Talk. You can stay connected with us on Instagram, X, and YouTube. Our handle is at CToday News, and we are also available online at ctodaynews.com. So let's stay connected.